Hey there UB Chefs, welcome to this week's cook along. I'm just about to get cooking with 9 dishes on this week's menu. Remember, if you haven't had UB Chef recently, you've got until this Sunday to order for next weekend. We've got some lovely dishes on the menu. We've got a Carpaccio Welsh lamb, lovely little broad beans, used cheese with that. We've got a Jambonneau slow cooked chicken on the main course, and Clotted cream parfait with local strawberries on the dessert. That's just a little selection of all what's on this weekend's menu. About to get cooking. Let's go through all the dishes. I'll show you how to plate them up. Very, very easy. Let's go. So let's get cooking on this week's menu. First of all, I'm starting with a weekly bake course. Look at that, lovely smoked pimento crackers. I'm going to get all of those into my little tray, like so. Give you plenty to use here. Tiny bit of rapeseed oil. This gives them a lovely shine. Nice little bit over. Then they're going to go in the oven 1 to 2 minutes. Let's get them in. This is just to warm them, just a little re-crisp. Then your garnishes, you've got a lovely tzatziki just here with some chopped mint going through it. And we've got some compressed cucumber, very, very chefy. Both of these are going to garnish the top of the crackers when they come out. So back in a couple of minutes, plate up. So I'm just finishing off piping my tzatziki all on the top of the crackers. So I've divided that between them. Make sure you really load them up with that lovely tzatziki. There we go. Then I'm going to get my compressed cucumber. Compressing, what it does, just sort of basically makes the flavour so much better, and like, look at the colour, really, really nice on there. So I'm just going to add lots of that cucumber, really, really fresh cucumber and mint, delicious together. You just divide that between them. See how I'm doing this on my board, because you do get a little bit escapes. So it's just nice to be able to not muck up your presentation. So to finish the rest of that cucumber on the top, then more rapeseed oil, lovely and golden. What a beautiful way to start the menu. Tiny bit of seasoning. There is already some on there, but I do like that little flecks of salt. And then just laying them into your dish. So we're just putting them on some risotto rice just here. You can put them on a normal dish, completely up to you. And the whole idea is this: we're going to take these to the table. There we go, let's get another one there. Look at that, lovely. Let's get these to the table now and start off this week's menu. Onto a smoked haddock chowder now starter. Really, really nice, mainstay of the UB Chef menu. Just literally put your knife in, cut open that sachet and pour the chowder into your pan. You can equally heat it up in the sachet, no problem at all. But let's get that on. Get that on the heat, use a whisk, give it a good stir, make sure it doesn't stick to the bottom. Now garnishes, got some potatoes, leeks, just been blanched. All you need to do, keep the lid loosely on them, get them in the oven. They're going to take about 5-6 minutes, not long at all. And then quail's eggs, a must in any chowder dish. These have just been soft boiled, so we've got nice soft yolks in the middle. They're going to get cut in half just when we come to serve it. And then we've got a tandoori spiced oil, really, really punchy, lovely flavour of smoked haddock. We're just going to snip that and pour it over the top when we serve it. So back in about 4 minutes, we'll finish the smoked haddock chowder off. So chowder is all up to just scalding in there, warmed up, bowl up. Get the whisk in there, see how we give it a really nice agitate with the whisk. Gets it all nice and foamy, nice for the presentation. Then let's take our potatoes out. Just going to dress them up a little bit, tiny bit of seasoning. Give them a stir, baby leeks, potatoes, really nice. And then get them into the base of the bowl, like so. And we are going to pour our chowder around. Go. Still want to see those potatoes, so I'm only going to go up a certain level. Look at that foam, looks just really, really nice and delicate. That's that. Then go to our quail's eggs. Got a sharp knife, cut through. Look at those yolks, lovely. They're all good. With the yolks as well, what I suggest do, a little season just on each one. And get those and just sit them into the chowder, leaving That's just to finish off with the tandoori oil. Get the edge off. And then just some lovely little droplets all the way around. Beautiful flavour, look at that, lovely. And there it is, smoked out chowder, fantastic flavour starter to get us going. Quite a restaurant dish coming up for you now. This is a carpaccio of lamb, so we've got a lovely little lamb cannon in here which we've brined, and then we've just sliced it very, very thinly. That's all layered here, ready to go. Then we've got lamb sweetbreads in here, 3 nice chunks of lamb sweetbread and a little panko breadcrumb. They need to go in the oven for 6 to 7 minutes, so I'm going to get them in straight away. And I'll just crispen them up really, really well. Then lamb, let's show you how I put this together. Cut open the pouch, and you see you've got the lamb carpaccio in between the UV Chef paper. It's got a top and a bottom, so you can see that's the non-presentation side. Peel off the paper, like so. Look at that. Lovely lamb. And take your plate, turn it over, get it all nice and central, tap it down, pull off. Right, get rid of all those. Then what we're going to do, take a little rapeseed oil on the top, back of a spoon or your finger, pastry brush, whichever you prefer, just work that in. This just gives a lovely little shine to it. And then I'm going to put a little seasoning on there. Okay, garnishes. Broad beans and marjoram, bang on in season now, very, very nice. Take some of your lemon dressing, which is all in here, cut off the edge, and dress some of that lemon dressing there. Keep the rest of it for when we finish. Just nicely dress those up. We've seasoned this dressing, so you don't need to add any more. Now I'm gonna just pack some nice little piles of the broad beans. You still want to see the lamb underneath, so try and don't cover it all up. Lovely colours. Get all that marjoram on, like so. Then we'll take our used cheese. It's in this lovely little piping bag. Snip off the end. Each time make sure it ends going, they don't want to end up on the plate. Then squeeze from the top. We'll put some nice piles of used cheese all the way around. Lovely combination here. There we go. And finally we'll put a tiny bit of dressing. And then I'm going to go and get my sweetbreads out. So a little bit on the top, beautiful. Save that for a little dressing of a salad. Sweetbreads, quick little season, and just put those. There we go. Look at that. How about that for a starter at home by UV Chef? Lamb carpaccio, crispy lamb sweetbreads. One of UV Chef favourites now is vegetarian course for any of our starters. We've got a spinach carbonara. You see there, it's got some butter in there and it's got a little bit of nutmeg. Nutmeg is absolutely beautiful with pasta. I'm going to start off, get my little carbonara sauce here. I'm going to put that into a pan of scalding water just to get that heated up. And I'm going to take the pasta and just take it out of your little tub that it comes in with all of the butter and all of the nutmeg, everything goes in the pan. Then you want to add about 2 tablespoons of water per portion of pasta. Okay, so in that goes. And then we're going to put it onto the heat. And then we're just going to bring that up to temperature. Basically all you need to do, bring it up to temperature, all of the water's going to be nice and hot in there, and then you're just going to toss it over, nutmeg all goes in there, give it a taste just when it's hot, 1 to 2 minutes. No time at all this is going to take. And then we're going to give it a little season as well, just to check. When we come back, I'll show you plating up. We've got an egg yolk there, which has been cured, just in salt and sugar. We've got some crispy shallots to go on the top. So back in literally 1 to 2 minutes, and we'll finish this off. So just seasoning up my pasta there, a little bit of molten salt. Get that toss over, it's almost there. And then nice hot bowl. As I say, I've just got my carbonara sauce, I've emptied it into a pan, that's all hot, ready to go. So final little toss over, all that water will now nicely emulsified. There we go. So all we need to do, I'm using a pasta fork here, completely up to you how you plate it up. Just twirl that on your fork. There we go. Get that into your bowl. And then we're going to give it some of that sauce. So pour over that lovely carbonara sauce. Then we're going to get some of our shallots just along the top. There we go. And then the egg yolk. What you need for this egg yolk is a little grater. See that little microplane grater just there? Very, very fine tooth. And then I'm going to just grate it. This adds a really lovely flavour on the top. It's also quite fun to do in the kitchen and to finish it off. And really go for it, shaving lots of that all over the top. There we go. Tiny little rape stool just to split that sauce out a little bit. And that's it. That's my spinach carbonara, this week's vegetarian course. Our fish course is a lovely fillet of cod, just there. It's in a sachet with some nice butter in there. This is a seaweed flavoured butter. We've got pepper dolls, lovely fresh pepper dolls, and sea lettuce in there, and the butter. So get your sachet cod into a pan, simmering water. I'm going to keep it on there simmering for 4 to 5 minutes. Take it off the heat, another 4 to 5 minutes, that's all good to go. Next up, lime roasted cucumber. That goes in for the same amount of time. You can drop that sachet in, forget about it, it's all happy. Our garnishes, we've got a dill gnocchi just in there. It's got some nutmeg, it's got some butter. Get the lid back on, just loosely. Same with the sea herbs, there's some local sea herbs from the island, rock samphire grass. Get the lid back on. They're going to go in for about 8 minutes in the oven until they're hot. And then crispy cod skin, just like cod scratchings, 1 to 2 minutes in the oven, lid off, nice and crisping up. So I'm going to get these in now. There we go. Now I should be back when my cod's out. I'm going to drain it onto a nice tray, show you how to plate it up. Right, we're ready to serve up our cod fillet now. Just taking it out of the water. So remember, it was in for 4 minutes simmering, then I turned off the heat and it was in for a further 4 minutes. Just be very, very careful because it's quite flaky at this stage. Just snip it off, and essentially you want to kind of save that butter as you empty it out because we want to use that as some of our sauce. So there's our cod fillet, look at that beautiful seaweed. As soon as you open that bag, you get that lovely smell of the sea. So that's our cod. Let's work nice and quick here so it doesn't go cold. Cucumber. It's our lime roasted cucumber. I'm just going to put that on a little bit of paper to mop up any excess. And then we've got our gnocchi, crispy cod skin, and our sea herbs. So let's go in. Piece of cod, our cucumber, which I'm just going to add a little extra seasoning to. Then gnocchi. Play with the little colours here, some on top, some around. So this is fresh dill going through here, like so. Then we'll get some sea herbs. And you can just sort of place these nicely. Not too much. This is rock samphire grass, which we often use. Lovely citrusy, not quite as salty as samphire. And then our crispy, listen to the snap on that, crispy cod skin. Get a good bit of that around there, it's a really nice texture. And all we're going to do is go back and get some of that butter, which we cooked around the cod, all nicely flavoured with sea herbs. And there we go. Little clean up. How about that? Lovely and delicate butter poached fillet of cod with both sea herbs, lime roasted cucumber, dill gnocchi. Main course here, we've got a jambonneau of chicken legs. So basically jambonneau, this is a leg, we've taken the bone out, we've rolled it back together, and then we've slow cooked it, cuddled it a little bit. This is going in the oven about 12 to 14 minutes. And that goes. And then garnishes, we've got little shaved parmesan just here. We've got these lovely anchovy palmiers, just puff pastry, some anchovy paste in there. They're going to go in the oven for about 1 to 2 minutes together with our lettuce. We've just charred it a little bit for you on the top to give a lovely smoky flavour. So 1 to 2 minutes, both of those. Then you've got your Caesar dressing just here. Either drop it into a pan of scalding water, 1 to 2 minutes, absolutely fine, or into a little pan. Give it a little stir on the stove just before you serve it. That's all ready to go. And then some parmesan shavings. So I'm going to put a touch of rapeseed oil just on the top of my lettuce and on the palmiers to give them a lovely little glaze. We're going to wait for our chicken to be in the oven for a little bit longer. These are going to go in and it'll be right back. Right, let's plate up our chicken jambonneau Caesar dressing now. Here we go, that's the chicken leg. Take that out, that's all nice and hot, all crispened up. Lettuce, lovely little charred top on it. Then what we'll do, we'll get some of our Caesar dressing. Put little bits just on top of the lettuce. Don't want too much, we'll put a bit on the plate as well. Now I'm going to put a little bit more on the plate itself, like so. You can always serve a little bit more on the table. Then we'll take our jambonneau, just there, parmesan shavings. So we'll have those all going round. Put quite a bit of that on, it really does benefit. And then palmiers. You don't need to add any extra seasoning to these because of course they've got that anchovy paste in, but just kind of nestle them in between, up against the lettuce. Show off that lovely little shape to them, which is really beautiful. Like so. Okay, just sit that one on the side. Actually, we'll just put that one in there. There we go, little clean up of the plate. And then finally, just a few droplets of rapeseed oil. And that is it. Nice and simple, full of flavour, jambonneau chicken, Caesar style. Vegetarian course for you now, courgette Tarte Fine. Really, really nice tart. We've done a basil polenta just underneath it. I'm going to get it out of the sachet, show you what's going on here. So let's just undo that, bring it out on the board. And what I suggest you do is just use that bit of UV chef paper to slide it onto your tray, like so, nice and easy. And it's going to take 15 to 20 minutes in there. There's quite a bit going on. You've got all those courgettes on the top. I'm going to give it a little bit of seasoning. We don't put too much on when we send it, just otherwise it draws the moisture out. Touch of oil on the top. Let's get that in the oven. And that goes. Then our garnishes. What we've got here is a tomato fondue. Just in there, I'm going to simply cut off. You can put this in the sachet, in the pan of water, sorry, if you like to heat it up. We've got a tomato fondue in there ready. And then this is a courgette flour tempura, just here. 5 to 6 minutes in the oven, that will re-crispen it nicely. The most important thing is crispy. And then we've got a basil salsa here, which is just going to go room temperature. So I have everything out on the side. This is going to go in about 15 minutes. Warm your sauce, salsa out, back soon. Right, time to plate up our vegetarian course now. Got my tomato fondue, just been warmed up in the oven. The way I like to do it is just get that onto your plate and use the back of a ladle or a spoon, completely up to you, but just give it a nice smooth out. You want to ideally go slightly bigger than the tart, because then we can see it when we kind of put the tart on the top. So that's all good. Then we've got our tart here. Tiny little bit more seasoning on the top just as it goes on. And get your spatula underneath and just sit it very, very carefully just on the top, like so. Really important to use a spatula for that because it can help you guide it in. Then we're going to take some of our basil salsa and just add some nice spoonfuls of that. So this is in addition to the basil polenta that's underneath. Yellow and green courgettes. There we go. Add some of that around. Then I'm going to take my pieces of courgette flour tempura just on the top, and there I have it. A lovely vegetarian course on this week's menu. Espresso Martini coming up, but as a dessert, very, very nice. Here we go, here's your tarts. We've done a lovely little sweet pastry base, and you've got inside there, you've got a really nice espresso, coffee flavoured custard, that's all in there. Then we've got coffee meringues, nice little delicate meringues there. We've got a mascarpone cream, and we've got a Kahlua gel. All you need to do is cut off the end of your piping bags. We've sent the mascarpone cream in a piping bag. You're more than welcome, as in the instructions, to put this into a little pan and use a hot spoon to quenelle it off. But I think it's equally a little bit easier doing it this way if you prefer. So really go for it with piping the mascarpone cream. See how I'm holding onto the end of the piping bag. Just squeeze that down. Last one. Then let's do the same with our Kahlua gel. There we go. And just keep filling that all up. Very nice. Then all we're going to do now, get that onto our plate, and then take some of those little meringues and just sit them on the top. Very nice. There we go. Simple as. Lovely way to finish Espresso Martini tart. Lovely seasonal dessert for you now. We've got a clotted cream parfait just here. I've taken it out of the freezer, and it's been out about 5 minutes now. Really, really important, because then it will just soften up just slightly. Strawberries, bang on seasoned, and this in here, lovely sachet of flavour. This is an elderflower jus, just in here. Elderflowers picked by our own fair hands. We made them into this lovely little syrup, and just dress out on top of the strawberries. Beautiful flavour together. And then just give them a little turnover in there, and then we're going to get them on top. You can, if you like, just cut a few down, just so that you've got a little sort of difference where you can see into some of them. And let's get some of those on the top. Can't beat it. Clotted cream, elderflower, strawberries, very nice. Cut down a few more of those. You can see them all glistening. Lovely elderflower jus. There we go. Look at that, beautiful. Let's get a little bit of syrup as well, just on the top. It's all lovely. Then we've got our confit lemon. I'm just going to take a few pieces. This just adds a really nice little chewy texture. Just space it out. And then the last thing we're going to serve with this is a couple of pieces of lemon shortbread. So that's our lemon. Then let's take our shortbread, which you've got here. You don't have to do this, but I'm just going to dust it with a tiny little bit of icing sugar on the top. And then quite carefully, just get those pieces just on the side. There we go. That is my clotted cream parfait, elderflower, strawberries, lemon, and lemon shortbread. That's a wrap then, another UB Chef menu completed. Hope you have great fun putting this menu together. Lovely selection of dishes. Hope it all goes well for you, and we'll see you back soon.